James Gunn shares look at Lois, Mr. Terrific Engineer and Superman. And is excited for Jason Momoa as Lobo. Okay. Well, there he is, flying and whatnot. James Gunn takes to social media to share new looks from his Superman movie. Lois Lane, Terrific Engineer. Gunn posted the behind-the-scenes images on social media in celebration of Eddie Cathegi's, or Eddie Cathegi? I don't know. I'm getting it wrong. I apologize. He recently celebrated his birthday and the anniversary of The Engineer. The pic also featured Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. So he said happy birthday. And so there they are. He's like, did you do it? No. And there's Lois. I guess this is a scene where she interviews Mr. Terrific. So the costumes for the movie are not great, but Mr. Terrific has the best one. You know why? Because that's what Mr. Terrific looks like. I mean, they got it exactly right. The problem is, and I guess maybe this is the deal, that the Guy Gardner Green Lantern and Hawk Girl work for him and his company, and so they got to wear the same type of outfit. But it, I don't know. But for him, it's perfectly fine. That's Mr. Terrific. So, 1 out of 3, I guess. In a separate tweet, Gunn said, happy anniversary to The Engineer, created by Warren Ellis. Wow, he actually mentioned Warren Ellis. He got canceled. And Brian Hitch, who you can see played to sinister perfection by Puppy in human form. Gabby DeFaria. And Superman is like, Puppy? He just called her a dog. Well, he's a big dog fan and all that, so I guess from his point of view, it's quite the compliment. So there she is, laying out on the football field. And that doesn't look anything like The Engineer. So I don't know if it's in post, they're going to do all the Terminator, silver stuff all over, which is basically and she's able to form machine guns out of her arm and all that stuff. And her hair looks like dreadlocks, but they're not dreadlocks. They're all wires that she can plug into stuff. So I don't know if her hair turns into the wires. I don't know. Pretty gal, though. She's in great shape. But I don't know if this is like before she becomes the Engineer, and by the end of the movie, the nanobites get a hold of her. But she's going to be going up against Superman and stuff. So she's got to have some sort of powers. But I don't know. But again, pretty girl. Today also marks the anniversary of Lobo, really? Okay. Where Jason Momoa, the part he was born to play, will be playing DC's main man in the Supergirl movie. So a cameo, obviously leading to a Lobo movie, which is actually the movie I thought James Gunn should be directing, not Superman. I just don't think he's the guy for Superman. Hopefully he proves me wrong. But definitely Lobo. I mean, that's like Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy melded together. He would totally, what's the word? Achieve that? Nail it, whatever. So anyway, July 11th, 2025. Hey, that's this year. We'll see the film. Gee, I hope it works out. Supergirl. And that's another thing, talking about the money and whatnot, but Supergirl is a story that takes place entirely in outer space and on alien planets and whatnot. But I guess they're going to do the volume room thing on it. And Grant, if you know how to shoot that, it won't necessarily be bad. But if you don't, you end up with crap like Kenobi and stuff like that. So, starring Millie Alcock, known for HBO's Game of Thrones. No, not Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. She wasn't in Game of Thrones, but close enough. Eve Ridley, don't know her, playing Ruthie. That's the girl who hires Supergirl to go after this guy, Matthias Schoenaerts, Crim of the Yellow Hills, because he went out there and pissed all over those hills. Actually, he murders Ruthie's father and all that. But anyway, it's True Grit. It's just Supergirl is John Wayne. That's Tom King's genius, you know. See, for Lanterns, he's going to rip off top to bottom True Detective just with space cops. That's all he knows how to do. So Supergirl is John Wayne in True Grit, but it's Supergirl in space. But top to bottom, it's the same damn plot. It's either that or, you know, crying about mommy all the time and seeking her in other women. Hey, that's fun, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you got to look for with Tom King. So all of this, of course, depends on Superman being a big winner this year at the theaters. And that's a tall order, even if the movie's good. It can't just be good. It's got to be great. Because you can cry about how unfair it is and all that, but that's the situation. You know? Anyway, James Gunn's Superman make or break for Warner Brothers amid saffron DCU exit rumors. Slay. So there he is flying. I know the eye, but they're blowing his face with air, and it's only for a second, so I don't see the big deal. But anyway, rumors are swirling around Warner Brothers Discovery, including claims that the fate of the company rests on the mighty shoulders of James Gunn's Superman. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. That's probably true. Yeah. What are you gonna do? You know, they did some dumb crap leading up to this, and here you are. It's also said that DCU co-head Peter Safran may exit the DCU amid a possible promotion within the company, as current Warner Brothers film heads Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy are rumored to be on the chopping block. Hey, I wonder why. Well, yeah. The report comes from Puck News, that's with a P, which breaks down the state of Warner Brothers Media's film division under DeLuca and Abdy, following what appears to be another box office bomb with Mickey 17 starring Robert Pattinson. Hey, he plays Batman, and directed by Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho of Parasite fame. You know, he said he would only do a franchise film if it could be a musical adaptation of Alien. The more I think about it. But anyway, the article breaks down the various executives involved who might be to blame, and toward the end brings up James Gunn, Peter Safran, Superman, and the importance of DC's IP. So they're blaming each other here, you know. According to Puck News, again, that's with a P, the rumor around Tinseltown is that David Zaslav might fire Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy and replace them with Peter Safran or someone new, who currently co-heads the DCU with James Gunn. Zaslav's rep has denied the rumor about DeLuca and Abdy. There's also no mention of what would happen to the DCU if Safran gets promoted to head of Warner Brothers Films. But it still raises questions. Would James Gunn take over the DCU entirely, or would a new co-head be brought in? Gunn has made it clear that Safran handles the business side while he focuses on the creative. So it seems likely a new executive would join Gunn and share DCU duties. Duties. Yeah, that's probably what would happen, because I don't think he has any interest in the business side, and probably doesn't have the skill for it, you know. So it would be someone else if Safran were to go there. But Safran's got to prove that DCU is going to work, and your first big telltale sign of it will be Superman. If that flops, this whole thing's in terrible trouble. I mean, yeah, you got Supergirl coming in the Lantern show, but I think those end up being things that just get dumped out there because of Superman. I mean, is a complete flop. Man, it's going to be pure panic time over there. So there's the thing from Puck News, looking at Peter Safran. Now, the relationship between him and Safran might be really good and all that, but he's got to deliver something. And they've been working on this and building it up, but it hasn't really started yet. It'll start in July. Creature Commandos, okay, but everything else in the leftover movies, it's not really attributed to them. So the article's comments on Superman are pretty interesting, especially considering what Matt McCloin's DC insiders have said about Zaslav demanding that James Gunn reboot the DCU using cheaper talent because, again, Warner Brothers is broke. And that's not Zaslav's fault. He's the guy who came in to try to save this thing and fix it, so that's what he inherited. But, you got to do this on the cheap. So from what Matt was told, the original plan under DeLuca was to continue with the much more expensive DCEU. So basically the talent, Cavill and Godot and Affleck and all them would have been more costly to pay them to continue on. And you would really have to cheapen the movies. I don't know, the Justice League movie where they sit around and talk about their feelings, in hallways and at a restaurant or something. And that'd be all you could do. No one wants to see that. So it decided, look, it's been stumbling around anyway. Let's just scrap it and we'll start over with, new cast or whatnot. And then, of course, Gunn says, yeah, but what about my projects? Okay, you can keep those. So the Puck News article, and yes, again, that is with a P, also highlights how DeLuca has a tendency to overspend. Oh boy, that's a problem. While Zaslav is portrayed as a penny pincher focused on cutting costs. Well, when you're in trouble financially, you need that guy to do that. So especially when it comes to marketing. So yeah, not a lot of marketing for them. That's a problem as well. But if you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. That seems to line up with what we've seen so far with Superman, as most of the promotion has come directly from Gunn himself. Yeah. While it was recently reported that a marketing consultant was brought on for Superman, Puck, with a P, makes no mention of it. So this is from Puck News, busy with their own project of their own. The July release that has now taken on almost incalculable importance to Warner Brothers Discovery. If Warner's can't finally make the DC franchise work, there is genuine fear that the studio will go the way of Fox, which was swallowed up by Disney in 2019. Well, they're not going to Disney. Disney can't swing that anymore. Oh, look, is this the backup plan? I don't know. No. Anyway, what's also interesting is the article's comment about Warner Brothers Discovery possibly going the way of Fox. From what Matt McCloin's been told, Zaslav always intended to sell Warner Brothers Discovery. From the time Discovery and WB emerged, I've heard Comcast Universal has been eyeing WBD for some time. He's also been told that when Zaslav sells WBD, he wants to retain control of Discovery. So they'll split it up again, but he's got to polish, the turd and hope it's good enough to get the best deal possible from Comcast. So McCloin previously suggested, as basically backed by Variety, that Zaslav's current moves with WBD are part of an effort to make the company look good for a potential sale. What happens if Superman fails? So what happens after a sale is anyone's guess, but it's worth mentioning that both Zack Snyder and James Gunn got their start at Universal. Yeah, that is interesting. Is Universal interested in bringing in Zack Snyder as well? But ultimately, Snyder has, made noises about wanting to do Dark Knight Returns. And Dark Knight Returns could be a movie that's one of their Elseworlds things, and it's a one-and-done type project. That's not going to, restore Snyderverse and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, possibly. But yeah, they did. That's where they started. I also wouldn't be surprised if Matt Reeves is clashing with Zaslav over the budget for the Batman Part 2 and the future of DC, which could explain some of the delays. But that's just my guess. There's also been online speculation that Reeves is waiting to see if Gunn's Superman is a success or not. Well, yeah, because if it's not, then all they have left is his Batman movies. You know? And that's probably what they'll rely on. They'll finish that up and then, I don't know, wait a bit, recast Batman, and just go back to doing Batman movies, depending on where they land, you know. So, yeah, that's that. And plus, I also thought, you know, the Penguin TV show got, you know, a lot of good buzz and whatnot, so they probably want to pump up Penguin's presence in the sequel. Stuff like that. But anyway, there's a lot riding on Gunn's Superman. DC's value as an IP is part of Warner Brothers' stock price. And Superman is the first major test. If the movie flops, the fallout could be huge for Gunn, Safran, DC Studios, and possibly the studio itself. Well, there you go. That's what Puck News thinks. And again, that is with a P. And also adds, it's not Mike and Pam's fault at the movie because they really don't have anything to do with it. They were going to go, well, let's just have Henry Cavill show up at the end of the Flash movie with Supergirl. And, you know, in a lot of ways, narratively, kind of wish it went that way. I wanted to see another Cavill Superman movie, but you just can't have nice things. But apparently they're in trouble now because Mickey 17 flopped. Apparently, there was also a story where Zaslav cussed them out over Joker 2. Jeez. Oh, man. What the hell, you know? But, yeah, he had to have been really pissed over that. So, hopefully this does work out. I want a good Superman movie. But, again, like I said, it can even be a good movie, and it won't be enough. And that's not the fault of Gunn and the rest, really. That's the situation they're in. And I just think he should have looked for someone he thought would make a better match for it, for a Superman movie, but it didn't happen. So best of luck, Superman. Hopefully, you know, you fly and all. Well, he'll fly, but